Welcome to the PlanEdge video training series. This video looks at laying out the plan. Okay, so if we go into complete mode, what we can do here is we can tailor the plan and lay that out exactly how we want that to appear. So the ability to drag these floors about and to be able to position and lay them out within the plan. Over on the right here we have the ability to change plan size, so we can make the plan areas bigger and obviously smaller with the minus arrow. So we just tap this and we see the size changes. So the other thing, we can change the room text, the floor text, and we also have the title that we can change as well. So if we just drag that onto the page, again same concept with the tapping of the plus to make that bigger. We've also got a footer down the bottom, and we'll see that when we move these items we have a horizontal and vertical guideline for the center, so we can use these for positioning. Okay, so now we've got the plan to the correct size and positioning. What we're going to do first is we're just going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole page, and we're going to do that by tapping this button at the top. What we're then going to do is we're going to have a look at the text for each floor. So we'll just move those out a little bit so we can see them. And what will happen now, as you'll see, is if we move the floor, the text moves with it. But we do have the ability to move the text on its own. If you rotate a floor to change the orientation, the labels don't move at that time. They stay horizontal so we can read them. And the same is true if we resize the floor. What you'll see is that it doesn't resize the text. And as I said, labels move independently to the floor. If you want to move them together, if you move the floor, then the label will move with it. Over on the right hand side we have the ability to be able to switch on and off different elements. So on the finished plan, if we didn't want to see the title, all that we need to do is to tap on this little eye icon and you'll see the title disappears, and if we tap again, what you'll see there is that it appears again. So we've got the option of doing that with the title and the north arrow, and also the footer down at the bottom. Same goes for the floors and their associated text. If you for any reason want to get rid of one of the floors, so let's say the ground floor, if you tap that, what will happen is that the floor disappears, and if you tap the one with the little T next to it, you'll notice that the text for that floor also disappears as well, so you can turn them on off as you desire. Okay, so if we now look at the north arrow, and we're going to set that to the correct position for this particular plan, what we'll see is that the north arrow rotates with that first floor, but you can also move it freehand to set that into the correct position. So moving the first floor links that rotation to the north arrow, and this helps to keep everything in sync, whereas on the second floor or the subsequent floors that doesn't affect the north arrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this property where the front is maybe, let's say, east facing. What we're going to do here is we're going to rotate that round, so our front's facing east, so we're going to adjust the north arrow now to compensate. And what you'll see now is as we turn this, the front always stays as shown as east with the north arrow. So this feature is quite useful for making sure plans don't change. Footers and plan title position can also be set. So here we've got the title, and you can see that that's set up in the middle here. We can make it bigger and smaller as we've seen already, and you also have the ability to be able to toggle that on and off if we don't want to see it on a particular plan. And exactly the same is true for the footer, so we can move that around to wherever we want. And then finally at the bottom we've got the copyright, and we can set that copyright logo up as well. And using the center line you can get those pretty much in the center of the plan. For more information and videos, visit planedge.co.uk.